everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today what I'm going to show you is how to decorate up a plain white candle. Now in order to do this I am going to print out a picture of my choice on my inkjet printer. So lots of people don't realise that you can actually print onto normal tissue paper. This is just, I add about 100 sheets for a couple of pounds. It is just normal tissue that you wrap presents in. Now this won't go through my printer, but with a normal piece of white copier paper, all you then need to do is, if you get some sellotape, and if you actually sellotape your tissue paper to the white copier paper all the way around as flat as you can, put a piece of tape right the way around the edge of it. Once I've done that, I'll come back. Just to let you see quickly, I've sellotaped right the way around the edge just to hold that tissue paper in place as flat as possible. I'm now going to go over to my inkjet printer and print this out. I'm not saying all inkjet printers will actually work, but this is how I do it on mine and it's always been fine. Now we're just left with the tissue paper. As you can see, it's printed out absolutely fine on there. I've cut around it roughly, but the best way to actually go around the edge with this, so you don't have a definite edge on your candle, is with maybe a paintbrush and just some water. So if you just wet all around the edges. Doesn't really matter how you do it, just all around. And then what you need to do then is just, if you tear away the edges like that, it then gives you a more of a fluffy edge. And then when you actually heat gun this onto your candle, it, like I say, it doesn't give you that definite edge. It just makes it blend into the candle a little bit better. All the way around the edge, taking it off. Excuse my hand. And there we are, we've got more of a rough edge around there. So just let that dry off a little bit. One thing I did forget to mention, if you are printing onto tissue paper, if you feel the tissue paper, there's a slight rough side and a little bit of a smoother side. It doesn't make a big deal of difference, but try to put the rough side down onto the white piece of paper, so then you're actually printing onto the smooth surface. It just uses slightly less of your ink doing it that way. Now what I'm going to do is, if you get a piece of greaseproof paper and get your candle, and then all we're going to do, now if you've got a piece of some Pritt stick, it might be handy just to put a bit of that on there to keep it in place while you do this. But just position that where you want it. And then what you're going to do, try and make sure that's all smooth. Okay, so once that's positioned where you want it, lay that down onto the greaseproof paper and then wrap this around there. Now the idea of the greaseproof paper is just to hold this picture in position before you heat gun it. So just scrumple that down as tight as you can. So as you can see, it holds the picture all nice and tight and straight onto the candle. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go over to the heat gun now and then show you how to heat gun this onto the candle. Okay, so I've now got the heat gun. I'm going to heat this up first so it's at a sort of hot temperature before I actually start melting the candle, because obviously the wax is going to get sort of a little bit too hot and then start melting. Just be careful of your hands because this does get actually quite hot. You'll see it as it does start to melt. You'll see the picture coming through a lot clearer. If you do think you're overheating it and your candle starts melting, all you need to do is roll it on a hard surface and then carry on. And like I say, just be careful of your hands because this heat gun does get rather hot. And hopefully you can just see that picture just starting to come through. And once you've gone all the way over it and the picture's all there, just give it a quick rub on the table. There, and then what we need to do then is just take the greaseproof paper off to reveal the picture underneath. Okay, so when you come to peel this greaseproof paper away, just do it slowly just to make sure your picture's on there. And as you can see, for the little bits of at the top and at the bottom that haven't quite stuck, what I'm going to do is, without the greaseproof paper now, I'm just going to go back over to the heat gun, give it a quick little blast, press it down, but obviously being careful because it is going to be hot, just to stick those edges down. If you don't want to do that, you could just trim them off, or again wet it like I did with the paintbrush and just pull it off a little bit. So there we have the candle that I've actually finished. You can decorate this up however you want. If you want to glitter up parts of it or put beads on, ribbon around the bottom, you can do sort of whatever you want in order to make that look pretty and sparkly. Before I go, what I did want to just show you is, if you didn't want to print your own pictures off on your inkjet printer, you can just use any normal napkins that you can buy in shops. The only thing is they usually come in 3-ply, which just actually means there's 3 layers to these napkins. So if, for example, you wanted to use just that one corner, obviously cut the corner away, you would then have to just separate these. Like I said, they come in 3. This is not going to be the easiest in front of the camera, but I'm going to just try and separate it just to show you what I mean. There we are. So what you would need to do is peel away the back 2 layers of the napkin, leaving you with just the very thin front layer. And like I say, all you would do is the same, either cut that out, but it's better if you just wet around the edge. Same thing on your candle with the greaseproof paper over the top, and heat gun that on, and it would give you the exact same finish as we get with the inkjet pictures that I've actually printed out on my printer. So thank you for watching my video today, and I hope you join me next time for something different. Bye.